Take a look at this pair of Mexican black king snakes. They're already locked up. Take a quick look at that. Oh, look at, there's a little boo bag in there. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the vlog. I have some really exciting news today. We had our first clutch of snake eggs for the year. That's right, it's a ball python. Kelsey, what did we get?
We got a Enchi female bred to a calico pinstripe yellow belly.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? This is what snake breeders wait for. Snake eggs. We worked so hard all season long, and now here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look. Look at this girl right here. She is just wrapped around some eggs. Woo! That's what came up. Oh, they look like a pretty nice clutch of eggs. Maybe it was one infertile egg in there. So far, they look really good. And you know, Enchi females sometimes have a problem with fertility as well as kind of producing. Not always, but so getting a clutch from a female Enchi is always exciting. And this should be a pretty awesome. Take a quick look at that. Oh, look at, there's a little boo bag in there. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this clutch and see how many eggs. Oh my gosh, the season is off to a start.
I'm waiting all year for this.
All right. There you go. Oh, there are a couple little sluggers in there, but still a really beautiful clutch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs.
6 eggs, not bad. So there's 6 eggs, and we can see these are the little, oh, look at Mama. It's okay, Mama, it's all right. These are the little infertile eggs, and basically what that means is that somewhere down the road they didn't get fertilized, the follicle just didn't get sperm to it, whether that or the sperm wasn't any good. It can be a spike in temperature. It could be just the delivery system off. It's really pretty common. So we have 1 slug for sure. We have another slug down here. So 2 little slugs, but the rest are really good. 2, 4, 6 eggs, and you can see this little boob egg here, right here, which is basically just a half a good egg and half of a kind of weird shaped egg. Again, we call them boob eggs, but that egg should hatch, no problem at all. Whenever there's 50 or 60% of the egg that is still really nice and bright, just like this right here, there's usually no problem. Sometimes when you get like 70% of the egg infertile looking, they just don't have enough room to develop and they won't hatch. This snake will probably hatch a little bit smaller than the rest of these eggs, but nevertheless, that's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and get them set up. And basically what we're gonna do is we actually use Hatchright, which is a perlite and a water isomer mix. You can buy it at hatchright.com, and it's really good, super easy. You don't have to add water, you don't have to do anything to it. And we'll put roughly about 1 inch of medium in the bottom of a shoebox like that. I'm gonna have Kelsey go ahead and pull the eggs. And as you can see, Kelsey just kind of dimpled them into the substrate, but she didn't bury them. You don't want them to be too buried. You want plenty of aeration in them so they can breathe really well. And basically what we'll do is we'll take these eggs, and I actually take them home to my home incubator, and this is the first clutch that's going in the incubator. The incubator's been empty for about 3.5 months now, so it's pretty exciting to finally be a mother hen and be looking after my eggs. So how awesome is that, guys? The first clutch of the year. There's plenty more to come where that's it. The breeding season is officially off. Great job, Kelsey.
Thank you.
And here I am in my walk-in incubator with my 1 clutch of ball python eggs. And for those of you guys that didn't follow last year, basically this is my incubator room right here. It's basically like a 7.5 by 7.5 room that basically has a bunch of insulation. It has 2 by 6 insulation and then 2-inch foam that's wrapped around the entire place. I have a fan, obviously, that's on very low, that's circulating air. I've got a oil-filled heater here, and I have the heater on a double redundant thermostat, just in case one fails, the other one picks up. And it's actually really simple. People ask me all the time if they are building an incubator that's, you know, maybe the size of a refrigerator. It's actually much more difficult to heat that because this room heats up and it's got a lot of air in here. From one side of the room all the way to the other side of the room will literally only vary about 0.5 degrees. Same thing from the top of the ceiling all the way to the floor. It is unbelievably easy to get a big incubator steady when it comes to temperature as opposed to a small one. So I'm not saying you should go out and build a walk-in incubator if you only have a couple ball pythons, but if you ever have a lot, a walk-in incubator is absolutely amazing. And my 1 lonely clutch will hopefully very soon be surrounded by many, many clutches. Oh, what the heck, man? Dude, you look like a freaking vagrant.
What are you talking about? I look great.
Seriously, you need to clean yourself up. And what the heck is on your face? Can you please shave? I mean, come on, it's embarrassing.
I hate going to the store. There's too many options for razors. People look at me funny. I hate it. It's so far. It's like a half mile away. $9. Which one's good? They all say they're the best. What is this? Cartridge. What do I need? Meyer. There's too many. I don't know what. Stupid razor. So barber. Where is this is so stupid. Ooh, a razor and razor blades. What's this? Oh wow! Shower shave, butt wipes, calming body cleaner, and shave butter.
Dang, Noah, you clean up good.
Thanks, Dollar Shave Club.
Hey, what's up, Noah? I'm looking good, man. Got this shave going on and all that. I like it, man.
Thanks. Yeah, speaking of that, we got some new rules around here.
Oh yeah, Eric, I have to tell you, man, we have a new BHB policy. No more facial hair.
But I've had this beard since I was 3 years old.
If you're like me and you're sick of the nonsense at the stores, now it's time to try out Dollar Shave Club. For a limited time, DSC is basically giving away their shit shower and shave starter to new members for only $5. This starter set features their executive razor in 3 trial-size versions of their most popular products that help you stay fresh and clean. In your first box, you'll receive the shave butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes. You'll also receive the executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. This offer is exclusively available at dollarshaveclub.com/BrianB. That's dollarshaveclub.com/BrianB. Alright guys, that was a paid sponsorship from the Dollar Shave Club. And to be honest with you, there are times I'm going to do brand deals because I need to make money. I spend most of my life vlogging and editing, and I have to pay the bills, and I hope you guys understand. But the truth is, I will always do my best to go with companies that I really love. And I'm not even lying. I'm not lying because it's a paid sponsorship. I have followed the Dollar Shave Club since their inception. I just think that it's an amazing company, and I've loved everything they've done. So please, if you find it in your heart, go check it out. dollarshaveclub.com/BrianB. Join up, because if you guys join up a lot, they'll want to work with me more, which I think is absolutely amazing. Again, give me a chance to have a little fun with the skit, because you guys know I love doing those. Oh, and by the way, no beards were harmed in the making of this. Eric's beard is completely fine. Regardless, let's get back to doing some snake stuff. And back to snake work, what I mean is I have to get all my male colubrids in with my female colubrids. Remember yesterday we actually put all our leopard geckos together? Well, today the snakes get together, and you can kind of see that there's some sheds that are on occasional cages like this. That is our way to just kind of mark that that female is ready to breed. Basically what happens when we're going through, Eric will literally just put a piece of shed skin over. That basically just means that that animal right there is the first shed out of hibernation, which is a follicle growth. So basically all we're going to do is just start switching males. And what we do is, you can see every male has a tag on it, just like this. So when we switch that male, that tag goes down to whatever female that cage is in. That way we can always track which male is in with which female. And then when we go to put them back in their own cage for feeding, we don't accidentally put the second male in the first male's cage and so on like that. And also when we get a breeding, we can see if there's ever anything awesome popping out, we know what male and female actually produced it. Regardless, we've got to get all these males in. Sometimes they get ready to breed right away, so let's see what happens. One little breeding trick that we'll actually do to just make life easier, because if you have to go through and sex a snake every single time you switch them around, it can be a little bit of a pain. Not to mention you never want to make a mistake. So we take actually a metallic paint marker like silver, which actually dries a little harder than say a white or a pink or something like that. And we'll just put a little bit of a mark on the male, that paint marker, just like this, just that little bit of a mark. It's not harmful to the animal whatsoever. And that way we can tell that that's a male. That way when we're switching this male the next day, we don't have to re-sex them. Not only can mistakes happen, but it's not good for a snake if you're constantly messing with it. So this is a real simple way to make sure you never mix up the male and female, because let's face it, you start putting females in with females, you're not going to get very good production. You know, I get excited about putting any snakes together to breed because I think it's so exciting, but these rhino rats, oh my gosh, these ones are the ones I always get super stoked on every single year. So hopefully we'll get some more production. We've been producing now for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years pretty consistently, but hopefully this year we'll have another year, because look at how gorgeous these things are. The other day Eric said that one of his favorite king snakes were these guys here, the Max or San Luis Potosi Kings. I mean, just look at how gorgeous these things are. And of course we work with the granite ones, which are really awesome. And like I mentioned before, they sometimes breed right away. Take a look at this pair of Mexican black king snakes. They're already locked up. Just look at that. He's just kind of all over her back. The hemipene is inserted into her. That's basically the first colubrid breeding of the season. Now, a lot of people will ask me, you know, these king snakes, these Mexican black king snakes, they actually eat other snakes in the wild. Like, why when you put them together won't they eat each other? And the truth is, very rarely will king snakes eat each other during the breeding season. It happens, but extremely rarely. They actually understand that they just need to breed, and that if they were eating each other, that would be detrimental to the survival of their species. Now, that being said, we always like to have the male be slightly larger, because if anyone's going to eat anyone, it's going to be the female's going to eat the male, because the male is just interested in breeding. So if you have the male that's a little bit larger, you're pretty much safe. But like I said, it is extremely rare. It's only happened a handful of times in all the years I've been breeding snakes. Here's another little colubrid trick for you guys. See this animal right here? This is an albino Everglades rat snake, and it's actually het for white-sided, but you can see that it's opaque, and this happens to be a male. And the truth is, males will very rarely ever breed when they're in shed. So when I see something that's opaque, for 2 reasons, I just leave him alone, and I'll just go ahead and shut him, leave his tag in here so I know that he's not in with the female. And the 2 reasons are, number 1, it's not going to breed probably, and number 2, if you mark it with the paint marker and it sheds off, then you don't know which one is the male or female, and then you have to resex them. So my suggestion to you is, if you're ever breeding corn snakes, king snakes, milk snakes, whatever it is, and the male is opaque or in shed, I would just go ahead and just wait till he sheds out before you even put him in with a female. And again, I get excited about almost everything, but this is another project that is just a little bit near and dear to my heart. For whatever reason, I've always loved them. Of course, there's albino Nelsons, and then there's T-positive albino Nelsons. Now, the T-positive is basically means that there's a protein called tyrosine, which is a type of melanin, the black pigment, and it kind of comes out purple. So if they're tyrosine positive, basically they'll have this kind of purplish, almost brown look to them, almost a hypo-ish look to them. Of course, if they're void of all melanin, including the tyrosine, they call them T-negative, which is what most albinos are. Ironically enough, when you breed a T-positive albino Nelsons with a T-negative, right off the bat you get some T-positives and some T-negatives, which kind of makes sense because they're both really albinos. It's just that this one has got some tyrosine. I think that might have been a little bit confusing, but hopefully you guys followed along with me. Just take a look at how beautiful this pair of snakes is right here. This is actually the male, the really red one, and that's the female tangerine right there. I just think that's going to be a really cool pairing of albino Honduran milk snakes. Again, just look at how beautiful those are. We always have some incredible scaleless Texas rat snakes, and this year is no different. I mean, there is a bunch of beautiful animals breeding, and they're really polymorphic, so they all look a little bit different, so the babies this year should be pretty outstanding. This guy here produced some of my best babies from last year. Just look at how crazy cool. I just love the kind of black around the saddles like that. And this guy was an absolutely great dad last year. Again, again, some of the babies that came out of his clutches were ridiculous. And of course, ridiculous would be this guy here. Of course, this is my leucistic scaleless Texas rat snake. We actually have a few of them, but they are absolutely just bizarre looking animals, and I love them to death. I mean, they are goofy looking, but they're still super, super cool. So that's it. I just have to put a handful of other males in, and then I'm wrapping up with colubrids for the day. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog here. What an amazing day. Our first clutches of snakes, males and with females. Things are heating up here, and it's absolutely amazing. And thank you guys for joining me today, and thank you for putting up with me with the brand deals that I do. Listen, it is my job, so I do have to make money, so I appreciate you guys putting up with it. And if you notice, the videos that I do a brand deal, I will always make longer for you guys. I'm not going to do a 3 or 4 minute skit on a brand deal and then jip you guys out of time. So I'll always make sure to take care of you guys because I love you guys so much. Can you do me a couple last favors before we get out of here? Can you smash that like button as well as turn those post notifications on so you know when I upload a video, which is every day, 7 days a week at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Remember to be kind to someone today, and I promise I will see you guys tomorrow.